Hello, people of YouTube. My name is Steve Gray, and thank you for watching. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, leave a like, and feel free to comment down below what you would like me to do for future content. So today we are talking about My Hero Academia Season 4, Episode 5, and we got a decent episode. We got some action this episode. We got to see a couple of the old favorites. So this episode, we kind of get introduced to two of the other big three. So you got Miro, or Lemillion. He was in the last episode with Deku on the work study. In this episode, you got Nairi, whose powers are kind of like electricity, I guess, or static shock. She kind of does this crazy spirally electricity thing. And then you got Tamiki, whose quirk is basically whatever he's called Sun Eater, and whatever he eats, he can kind of transmit. So, for instance, if he eats clams, he can turn his fist into a clam. If he eats chicken, he grows a chicken wing and a chicken foot. He eats octopus, he grows tentacles, and all of that type of thing. Then we also have a pro hero. Let me see if I can find said pro hero, if I can get his name. Basically, his name is just Fat. And he is part of the work study. He is with Kirishima. He is with Tamiki in a work study. And basically, Fat's powers, he's this big round dude, and if something hits him, he basically absorbs it. Pretty interesting power. Eats a lot of food. Very big gentleman, but pretty cool guy, in my opinion. So, in the introduction to this episode, we have Uraka and Asui, or Froppy and U-Gravity, with Najiri, and another hero whose name I am forgetting at this point. I believe it was like Dragon Force, I believe her name was. Not really sure what she does. Another pro hero, ranked number 9, I believe, out of all of the pro heroes. Let me scroll down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Rukyu. She's actually currently hero number 10, because All Might is no longer number 1. But basically, they're all together. They're fighting against some bad guys, and that's kind of the introduction to the episode. Not a lot going on. Everybody gets to show off their powers a little bit, show off their costumes. Nairi Wafu going for you right there. I know previously people were complaining about the size of her bosoms. I guess we will just leave it at that. But I mean, it's an animation choice, and is it really like? Are you really that mad about it, guys? I mean, come on. Move on with it. Move on with it. Anyway, going into the rest of the episode, we have Kirishima being OP, and we get to see that he has a new level of hardness that he can only hold for 30 or 40 seconds, but basically it is impenetrable, and he is so hard that when he moves, he creaks, because obviously that's how hard he is. You can actually see his eyeballs get really hard. It's kind of creepy how he does it. He almost looks like some sort of shark rock type situation, I guess is the best way to describe it. And he's fighting this guy who originally can just protrude like a box cutter type length blade out of his arm, but then he takes this drug and he basically turns into that tooth guy from the League of Villains. I think it was Razor Tooth, where basically all the blades shooting out of his teeth. It's kind of similar principle, similar abilities, similar powers. And Kirishima, or Red Riot, ends up being able to kind of overcome his sadness, his sorrows, his kind of anger, because he doesn't have any long range attacks. He can basically only do close range things, so he has to push himself over his current limit to make his power so powerful that nothing can penetrate him, which is what he ends up doing and defeating him. However, kind of like a sneak attack type situation, where the guy is on the ground, you think he's done, and then he's just like, haha, just kidding, and then he tries to get away, but then Fat stops him at the end. Tamiki, or Sun Eater, he is extremely powerful. He's like on some pro level tactics, but as Fat was saying pretty much the entire episode, everybody calls him Fat. His mind, not there. Basically, like, he can you can call him like ugly, and he'll just like freak out mentally and get extreme anxiety. That's like his number 1 weakness right now, which kind of sucks. But he seems to be a really, really cool hero. And that's pretty much the bulk of the episode, just showing off the other two of the big three, and showing off a few of 1A's characters, and showing them developing better skills throughout the episode. Then there's kind of like end credits, like prematurely for whatever reason. I don't know why. And then it goes to them back at class. all the students are kind of tired that are doing the work studies, and their schoolwork is probably going to end up suffering for it. That's why Red Riot there is going to take like a separate class so that way he can still be good in school. Momo's like, hey, yeah, everybody learns at their own pace. It's okay. And everybody's like, yay, cheers. And then Bakugo is in the background mad and angry because he still cannot get a work study because he does not have his hero's license, provisional license yet. Neither does Todoroki. But I'm sure we'll get to see an episode of them getting their license soon enough. A lot of episodes left. We got like 22 episodes left. Yeah, 20, not too, oh no, not 22. 19 episodes left of this season, and I'm sure there's going to be a season 5 because it's extremely popular, and I don't think it's going to go anywhere. But moving on, we kind of get back into the main story where Deku kind of has an existential dread because he knows, he just keeps thinking about Eri. He is very kind of disappointed with himself, and it's getting to him mentally. I don't know about physically, but mentally he thinks that he should have saved this little girl that was crying for help, even though the situation didn't permit it. Miro, Million, whoever you want to call him, I think this kind of shows that in this particular aspect that Deku deserves the power, all for one, more than Miro does. And the reason I say that is because it's eating away at him. Miro was like immediately like, okay, there's nothing we can do about us, but Deku felt like he should fight. And this, I feel like in this particular situation, it's proving that Deku deserves the power over Miro, but we'll just have to wait and see what Sir Night thinks and what Deku proves to him. Deku, not Deku, proves to him by the end of this season. We get to see Shigaraki and Overhaul meet up. They're going to team up at some point. We didn't really learn what the plan was, but basically his plan is enhance weaker people with the drugs, as we saw in this episode, and then the heroes hit them with basically it gets rid of their power. We don't know where this is coming from, how these two things are being developed so far. I think it has something to do with Eri based on the preview because they said they're using her for evil. So 9 out of 10, it's got one of these abilities has something to do with Eri. The gun that the guy used got destroyed by another villain because they don't want the cops to learn what this stuff is capable of, what it is, dissect it, etc. They don't want to learn. Fett actually said that the stuff that's produced in the U.S., so we actually might be going to the U.S. at some point, last for a lot longer. He said basically the stuff that the Blade guy got was some sort of off-brand made in Asia because it only lasted for like maybe 15-20 minutes. Didn't last for like an hour or two like the stuff that was made in the US. So we might be going to the US at some point this season. Not really sure what's going to happen there. Going on to next episode. My guess it's going to be a very League of Villains type episode. We're going to learn about their plan. Maybe we'll get something with Todoroki and Bakugo getting their professional license. Not really sure what's going to go on there. I'm assuming we're still going to get the big three doing the work studies and all of those main characters. They're all going to be teaming up in this next episode to try to get after the Shihagashi and see what the heck is going on there. Other than that, not a lot going on for next episode. I'm guessing it's going to be Heroes planning, League of Villains, Shihagashi planning, and teaming up. The only thing is, I think there's got to be some sort of like issue with some of the members of the League of Villains because they killed Magna, which was good friends of Toga, good friends of Twice, I believe the Magician, the guy that got his arm ripped off, also good friends with. I don't think they're all going to agree with this, so this might just be Shigaraki himself with these people trying to get bigger numbers, but I'm not sure. We'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, my name is Steve Gray. If you're interested in guitar and guitar-related things, go check out Gray's Guitars, my guitar channel. I upload about one video a week on that channel. This channel, obviously, I'm still doing 3 currently. My name is Steve Gray. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a good one.